Got a really interesting golf club to show you now. So this is a bunker wedge, 58 degree by Kaiser Matsui Golf. They sell a lot of clubs in Japan and South Korea. So it's got a really wide sole, 58 degrees loft. But the unique feature about it is the face. Look at that. Never seen anything like that before. So it's designed to filter the sand out. It's also got a different grip on it as well. It's an octagonal grip. So it's squared off all the way around, so it sort of fits into your fingers quite nicely. But the face is really interesting. Typically when you play a bunker shot, you do feel a lot of resistance because you got the club face going down into the sand. You know, it's almost like you got a shovel in your hand and you feel everything stop when you get down into the sand. And the bad shot really is if you hit a little bit too far before the ball, especially in bunkers like this where you've got maybe 4 inches of sand, if you're going a little bit short of the ball, you're probably going to hit it about 3 feet. So that's the great thing about having a wide sole on this. It's going to prevent the club from digging into the sand, and you can sort of get away with it. You can still get the club to bounce back out and get the ball out onto the green, which is the main thing. But the real feature about this thing is the face, because it's going to filter the sand out. And I've tried a few shots with it already, and it's really interesting. It's a totally different feel, because normally when you're playing the bunker shot, like I say, you feel that bit of resistance, but now you don't feel it. So you play it like a normal bunker shot. Club face can just stay nice and square. It's 58 degrees. A lot of the weight that's gone out from the face has been put into the sole of the club, so it's got a really low centre of gravity, which is going to help the ball pop out nice and high. This is quite a high bunker lip, so we'll see how it gets on out of this. So you play it just as a normal shot, and it just flies out. You know, loads of height. I didn't even need to open it out. Now we're going to do a little bit of an experiment here. It's going to draw a line back here in the sand. I'm going to purposely try and go in too far behind the ball to see whether this really works, see whether the sole works. Because what would normally happen with a normal golf club, if we went in too far behind the ball, you know, there's too much sand between the ball and the club face, so the ball's not going to fly out. There's not enough energy to get it out. If I go in too far behind the ball with this one and the sand filters through, I reckon that club face will get onto the ball. Let's see what happens. So I'm really going to try and hit a bad one. Probably going in 5 inches before the ball. That was better than the first one. Right on the line, was at least 5-6 inches before the ball, and it still came out. Let's do it even more. I mean, you're never going to try and hit that far behind the ball. This is just a real test for the club, see whether it works. Can you still hit a bad shot and get it out? So let's go in, you know, several inches before the ball. Yes, you can. Okay, let's try it out over the bunker then. Let's see how we get on. The wide sole's great. Good thing about this wide sole, it's got a really low bounce. It's only around about 5.5 degrees bounce. So if it had too much bounce, then off a really hard lie, you know, the wide sole, you're going to find it bouncing off the floor, probably thinning the ball. So this is a really good profile on the sole. So you're not going to find that happening. Again, I'm not going to open the face out. I'm just going to use the 58 degrees, low centre of gravity. That ball just going to pop straight up in the air. I'm really not going to have any issues playing this shot. In fact, I feel really comfortable over it. Feels great as well. You're probably wondering about the feel that you're going to get from this face design, but it feels really close to a normal golf club. It's not going to be spot on, but it feels good. and it sounds good. You can probably hear that. It just pings off the club. It has got a little ping to it. It's difficult to dig the club in. You know, there's a big surface area there, so even if you did chunk it, let's try and hang back on this one, see what happens. You can still hit it. So I've hit it 6 inches behind the ball, but I've still got to the ball. Normally with a normal club, with a normal sole, which is much narrower, catching behind the ball, you're actually going to take a big divot and then you're going to end up in that bunker. So if you do struggle getting out of the bunker, I think this is a really great tool. That wide sole just prevents the leading edge from digging in. The face is unreal. You know, the way it filters that sand out, because bunkers are traditionally hard to play anyway, really hard to control distance because you have a lot of sand between the ball and the face. So it's very difficult to get a consistent amount of sand so you know that you're hitting the ball consistently every time. With this thing, it just filters all that sand out of the way. So you're actually going to find that your distance control is going to be a lot easier. And even if you do go in a little bit before the ball, which is really common, a lot of you tend to hang back, come in too far before the ball because you're trying to scoop it out. It just glides through and collects the ball with it. So it's a great tool. The grip, the octagonal grip, it's interesting, but it works because of your finger joints. You know, we've got the joints on the fingers here, 1, 2, 3 joints, and everything just sort of fits into place nicely. So I feel like when I'm gripping it, I feel like my hands are going to stay in place all the way throughout the swing. So it's a great tool, and you can use it for full lob shots, short ones, bunkers, bare lies, out the rough, you name it. Definitely worth checking out. Thanks for watching.